Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're going to be diving deep into AI tools, specifically with Nico Trataris's book, A Guide to AI Tools.
Right, and it's an interesting book.
It is.
It comes with a tagline, AI will not take your job, but someone using AI will.
Ooh,
And we're going
a
to...
little unnerving, right?
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. We're going to unlock those serious AI insights and see what that actually means for you.
Yes, we are. And to kick things off, what I found so interesting about this book is that Trataris's experience with AI goes all the way back to 1984.
Wow, way back.
I mean, we're talking
Before the internet.
before most people even had computers in their homes.
I mean, imagine trying to explain Chat GPT to someone back then.
I know.
Like, you can't even fathom it, right?
It's wild, seriously. And Trataris even mentions in the book that in those days, studying AI was mostly a theoretical exercise because there simply wasn't enough data to make it practical.
Yeah. They didn't have the computing power that we have today, or even just the vast amounts of data.
I mean, it's like comparing a horse and buggy to a spaceship.
Right. Absolutely. The technology has advanced so much.
So how did we go from this idea of AI as this abstract concept to AI that can, change the entire job market?
Well, Trataris had a pivotal moment in 2015 while he was taking Andrew Ng's machine learning course.
Okay.
And he was blown away by the power of prediction, the power that he witnessed. But he's also a little disturbed by it.
Oh, interesting. I mean, he actually expresses concerns about Google's potential dominance in AI,
Right.
which is a topic that's still relevant today, with all the discussions around big tech.
I mean, it really makes you think, is it a good thing that a few companies have so much power in this field? Or is it something we should be kind of cautious about?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
It really is food for thought. And of course, we can't talk about AI without talking about Chat GPT.
Yeah. And Trataris focuses specifically on version 4.5, which came out earlier this year. Why 4.5? Well, because it's not your average chatbot anymore.
Right. Version 4.5 is where things get really impressive.
Right.
I mean, this AI can actually understand and process images.
This isn't just about looking at pictures. It means Chat GPT can get information, meaning from images.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay, so imagine this. You take a quick snapshot of what's in your fridge, and Chat GPT suggests dinner recipes based on what you have. It's like having a built-in personal chef in your phone.
Exactly, and that's just one example. It can do things like build websites based on sketches that you upload.
You can practically read your mind.
It's amazing. Oh, and get this. ChatGPT 4.5 has been just crushing standardized tests.
What?
Yeah, like scoring in the top 10% on a graduate level exam.
Okay, I don't know about you, but that makes me think, do I need to start studying harder?
It's a little intimidating.
What does it mean for our future if AI can perform at that level?
Yeah. It's a sign that AI is becoming increasingly capable, and that's something we all need to really think about.
For sure. And, but even more significant, I think, is, the introduction of these OpenAI plugins. They're like giving ChatGPT a direct line to the internet and all sorts of other external applications.
Right. So instead of just chatting with ChatGPT, you can now use it to get real-time information. You can access these huge knowledge bases, and you can even automate tasks, which is incredible.
Okay. So let me get this straight. So you're saying I could be chatting with ChatGPT and I can just say, hey, pull up the latest sports scores, or, search my notes for that meeting we had last Tuesday, or even book a flight for me.
Exactly. And all of that happens seamlessly within the chat.
That's kind of amazing.
It really is. It's like having a super-powered personal assistant right there.
But with all this talk about what AI can do,
Yeah.
I mean, we can't forget that tagline we mentioned earlier, right? AI will not take your job, but someone using AI will.
Yes.
Now that we've seen what AI can do, I mean, what does that really mean for us? What skills do we need to have to make sure we're the ones using AI and not being replaced by it?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. The million-dollar question. And I think to really answer that, we need to go a little deeper into what Trataris calls the AI skills gap.
Let's do it.
So this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, let's dive in. So this AI skills gap.
Yeah.
It's not just about learning how to code or building AI models.
Okay.
It's about understanding how to use AI effectively, in your own field, whatever that might be.
So it's not about being a tech expert, but it's about being smart about using these new tools.
Exactly. Yeah. Think about it like this. When the internet first became widely available, I mean, it wasn't just the computer scientists who benefited.
Right.
It was the people who figured out how to use it to connect with customers, to build their business, share information.
Right.
Those were the people that thrived.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But how do we do that? How do we figure out how to use AI in our own work? It just all seems a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it can be overwhelming, but Tritaris has some advice.
Yep.
He talks about this idea of becoming an AI translator. It's someone who can bridge that gap between the technical world of AI and the practical needs of your profession, whatever that might be.
So almost like a bilingual person, but they can speak, like AI in marketing or AI in healthcare or AI in finance.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean you have to go and like learn how to code or anything like that. It's more about just understanding those basic principles of how AI works and then figuring out, okay, how can I apply this to my own job, to what I do?
I see. Can you give us some examples of what this might actually look like in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say you're a marketer.
Okay.
Instead of just blasting out these generic emails to everyone, you could use AI to personalize those emails based on individual customer preferences and behaviors.
That sounds like really effective.
Yeah. And it would save you so much time.
And probably get you a better response rate, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about another example?
Okay, so let's say you're a doctor.
Okay.
AI can help you analyze medical images, like x-rays and things like that, to detect early signs of disease.
Oh, wow.
Which would then free up your time to really focus on patient care, coming up with treatment plans, things like that.
So basically, the key takeaway here is that AI is probably not going to completely replace our jobs.
Right.
But it's definitely going to change the way we do them.
Yeah. The way we work is going to change for sure.
And if you embrace these changes and learn how to use these tools, you're going to be the one who thrives.
Exactly. It's about adapting.
Yeah. And it's funny because Tritaris has been immersed in AI for so long.
Right.
He even recalls a specific day.
Oh, really?
A turning point in his journey.
Yeah.
November 30th, 2022.
Okay.
And it was the day he asked an AI to write code for a program.
Okay.
And it worked.
Wow, that's incredible.
And you can imagine what that did to his mind. Right?
Oh, yeah.
All these possibilities opening up.
I mean, that really drives home the point that AI is getting so much more sophisticated and so much more capable.
Yeah, and so fast. I mean, we're seeing it happen right before our eyes, right? With Chat GPT 4.5 and those plugins.
The pace of innovation is incredible.
It's crazy fast.
Yeah, so it's really important to kind of stay ahead of the curve and keep learning.
It's like that quote, the only constant is change.
Right.
And it's happening so quickly, right?
Yeah, especially in the world of AI, it's changing every single day.
So what can we actually do to make sure we're not left behind?
Well, I mean, Tritaris emphasizes lifelong learning. It's no longer enough to just learn one skill and call it good.
Right.
You have to constantly expand your knowledge and your skill set.
It sounds like a really exciting time to be alive, though, wouldn't you say? I mean, there's so much potential for innovation and positive change.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, AI has the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Right.
And help create a better future for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's up to us,
Right. We have to make sure it happens.
Exactly. We have to be proactive. We can't just sit back and wait to see what happens. We have to participate in shaping that future.
And that starts with understanding AI, like we're doing right now. Right.
Yeah.
Embracing its possibilities and using it responsibly.
Absolutely.
To create the future that we want to see.
Yeah.
Not the future that someone else decides for us.
Exactly. And it's amazing, Tritaris even used AI tools to create the graphics for his book, so he's really putting it into practice.
He's walking the walk.
Yeah.
So where do we go from here?
Well, the best place to start is just by exploring and experimenting. There are so many AI tools and resources online.
And a lot of them are free, right?
Yeah, many of them are free.
So there's no excuse, right?
No excuse. Just dive in and see what you can create. You might be surprised by what you discover.
Yeah, you might be surprised at how easy it is to use some of these tools.
It's really not that difficult.
Yeah. And the thing is, this is just the beginning.
After scratching the surface,
Yeah.
It's just the start of this whole AI revolution. The possibilities really are limitless.
It's exciting and a little bit scary, right?
It is. But it's a future that we get to shape.
Yeah, that we get to shape.
Yeah, it's exciting. The future is in our hands.
All right, so we're back and we're going to wrap up our deep dive into the world of AI tools with Nico Tritaris's A Guide to AI Tools.
And we've covered so much, from those early days of AI.
I know, right? It's like, whoa.
To the mind-blowing stuff that Chat GPT 4.5 can do and those plugins.
I mean, it's pretty amazing.
It's crazy. We also talked about how important it is to adapt to all of this, this new AI world.
Yeah.
And developing the skills that we're going to need to thrive in the future of work.
Right. To stay ahead of the game. Right.
Exactly. But before we go, I think there's one more thing we should highlight from Tritaris's book.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. You're talking about that idea of becoming an AI translator, right?
Exactly.
A person who can kind of like bridge the gap between all this techie stuff and their own area of expertise.
Right. It's like being fluent in both, like you said, AI in marketing or AI in healthcare or...
Right. But how do we actually do that? How do we become those translators? Where do we even start?
Well, Tritaris gives some really practical advice. He says, start small, pick like one problem or one task in your work and see if there's an AI tool that can help you do it better, more efficiently.
So instead of trying to be like an AI expert, just find those little ways to use it, those applications.
Yeah, just find the stuff that makes a difference in your day-to-day work, the stuff that you're already doing.
Yeah. Just make it a little bit easier and better.
And there are so many resources online.
I know, Rad.
So many tools to help you get started. A lot of them have free trials and basic versions, so you can just play around with them and
test the waters, right?
Exactly. See what you like. And then as you get more comfortable, you can start, diving in a little deeper.
Yeah. I love that. It's like dip your toe in the pool before you jump in head first.
Exactly. And that's the best part about all of this.
Right.
AI is constantly evolving, so there's always something new to learn and explore.
Yeah.
It never gets boring.
It's funny because it reminds me of that quote, the only constant is change.
That's so true. And it's happening so fast with AI.
So fast.
It's exciting. And Tritaris reminds us that this whole thing, it's full of so much potential.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't see AI as this threat to humans.
Right.
He sees it as a powerful tool that can help us solve these big problems.
Like what kind of problems are you talking about?
Like, coming up with new medical treatments,
right,
combating climate change, or even just making our everyday lives a little easier and more fulfilling.
Okay. Yeah.
So AI really does have the potential to make things better for everyone.
That brings us back to that tagline. AI will not take your job, but someone using AI will. But it doesn't feel like a warning anymore, does it?
No, it's more like a challenge.
Yeah, like a call to action, right?
Yeah. It's reminding us that the people who are willing to adapt and learn, they're going to be the ones who really thrive.
The ones who use AI as a force for good.
Exactly.
That's such a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So as we wrap things up here, what will you create with AI? Think about that. The tools are out there. We've talked about that.
Yeah, and the possibilities are limitless. Like anything you can think of.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. The future is being written right now.
And you can be a part of it.
And you can be a part of it, which is really exciting.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. I hope everyone listening is feeling inspired.
I do.
To go out there and explore and experiment and maybe even become an AI translator in their own field, whatever that may be.
That's what we need.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.